Hey everybody, Psychosaurus is here. Welcome back to Age of Empires Online. And today we're gonna do a small tutorial. I'm gonna talk about quests. And you might be like, oh my god, this is so primitive, but yeah, it is gonna be primitive. It's gonna be very simple, but hey, there are some things people should know about no matter what, how the things work. And yeah, so they don't get surprised by anything. Alright, but before I get to those quests, I have a quest for you, and goddamn, it's been on for so long already. I'm growing tired of this. Come on, guys. Hunting Angry Old Man. Come on, you gotta do it. You gotta finish it. Only 2 videos left. Come on, you want that legendary advisor? Come on, watch. Find him. Tell me when, where, and he can be yours. Any advisor you want. Hey, you want, what do we have here? We have Xerxes, we have Crassus, we have Kepri. Whatever you want. You want one of these three? Hey, just find him. One of these advisors can be yours. And it's not all of them. Come on, we have a whole bunch over here. Come on. Go watch, find him. Links in the description so you can have it easier to find the videos. And just go watch it, find him. Easy money. Come on. Okay, now onto the main topic here. So yeah, as we know, we got quests, which is probably the most important part of Age of Empires Online. Because that's how we play the game. We have a quest, we start it, we play it, we finish it, we get rewards. That's the basic. But yeah, we have a lot of quests, and we can like separate them into multiple categories or groups or whatever you want to call it. So let's start with repeatables and non-repeatables, which is gonna be the first thing you should notice. So first, non-repeatables. How do you recognize them? Well, when you go to the quest giver, you can see the exclamation mark when the quest is available. If it's yellow, that means, hey, this is non-repeatable quest, or not that this is, but there is a non-repeatable quest available at this quest giver. So that's the first sign that this is non-repeatable. Second sign that if you take a look at the quest and look at the icon next to it, you can recognize the quest type or the non-repeatable repeatable quest by this icon. So you see this icon, it's very simple. If there is not a blue arrow, that means it's not repeatable. You can see it here, there is this small blue arrow, that means this is repeatable. Here, there's no arrow, that means this is not repeatable. Now, what do these mean? In general is, hey, you play these quests, you finish them, and that's it. You will never see them again. This is just one-time quest. You could call them also the story quest, campaign quest, whatever, because these are like progressing you through the region or through the campaign or quest pack, as you like to call it. The main thing is, hey, you play them once, you're done with this quest. You cannot play them anymore.
The king will be pleased.
So that's the non-repeatables. Then we have the repeatables. Now, to know whether the quest giver has a repeatable quest available, the difference is that the color of the exclamation mark is blue, not yellow. Now, obviously, if there is yellow, that does not mean that the quest giver does not have repeatables. As you could see, we already have some active here.
Good luck.
It always gives the what do you call it? It always shows you the non-repeatables first. So if you see the yellow question exclamation mark, then that means there is non-repeatable available, but that does not mean that the quest giver does not have repeatables available at the same time. If you see the blue one, that means there are only repeatables. Okay,
Hello
so
there.
you click here, hey, there's a repeatable one.
Time is short.
Now, obviously, I've mentioned the icon available next to it. So
Let's
the
make it
repeatables
happen.
will have the blue arrows. Now, another thing about the repeatable quest, there is a cooldown. And to check the cooldown, you need to select the
Get
quest. So
on with
if
it
I
then.
was here,
State your
I select the
business.
quest, I have this. I select this, I have this.
Good luck.
So
Hey, you!
if there's only one quest, usually you can open it. In some cases it won't, but yeah, it opens in some cases right away. But yeah, the most important thing about repeatables, they have some kind of cooldown. That means after you finish the quest and like complete it, so taking the rewards from the quest giver, the quest will go on the cooldown. How long cooldown? That depends on the quest description. As you can see here, it says repeatable 12 hours. That means you complete a quest, it will become available again after 12 hours. Well, so let's say, hey, you start a quest at 12 a.m., you finish at 1 p.m. by taking the rewards, then the quest will become available again at 1 a.m. That's how it works. 12 hours after completing the quest. So once you take the rewards. That's very important to remember, so you don't wonder why the quest isn't available again already. Okay, that's how it works. So yeah, that's the quest cooldown. And I don't think I forgot anything. I think that's pretty much it.
Don't
So
miss
that's the
this.
basic things. Okay, and before we move on to more deeper into quest,
Halt! What goes
obviously
there?
quests have some kind of rewards and some kind of quest description. Now I said, hey, we have non-repeatables, repeatables, and that's another way to recognize here. If you take a look at the description, and you could see that the repeatable one, there was the mention of the cooldown. If you have the non-repeatable quest, there is no cooldown mentioned. There is not repeatable 12 hours, nothing like that. You just have this, no mention of the cooldown. Now we have the quest description. Now if you're here at the quest giver, you will have some kind of story over here telling, hey, these guys are annoying, you have to kill them, please get rid of them, blah blah blah. And then you have like some shorter description over here. You have some kind of recommended level. Now recommended level, that's very relevant to the non-repeatable quest, because as you can see this is non-repeatable. Here you have recommended level 21. Now I don't think it's anymore possible to play below the recommended level, the quest. That means you need to be at least level 21 to be able to play this quest. I think that's how it works right now, because before you could start just playing Babylon quest at level 1 and then suddenly you got a big boost and jumped from level 3 straight to level 7, something like that. So yeah, this was changed and I don't think you can play the quest unless you're at least this number. Your level is this number at least. Now
Let's
repeatables
show you
have
the
also
vista.
this recommended level if I
Hello there.
remember, but instead of number it says any, and this is also important to remember. Now if you see any, it actually can mean two things. Either it is your level, it will give you the chest rewards, your level -3, so you can see
Get on with it then.
right here my level over here
Hey,
is
you!
40. It says any, but the chest over here is level 37. Now there is also any. Most likely you will don't see it at the green with the green color, but like yellow or even orange. color. And if you see that, then most likely you will find the treasure chest level is equal to your level. Yeah, it's kinda like, how do you recognize them? Really, you won't really recognize them by this. You just need to take a look at the rewards and check the level at the chest over here to know like what rewards you're getting. But yeah, don't ask me why it's this way. It's just this way. Hey, at least it's a nice way to get some lower level chest. But if I wanted to get some specific level, oh boy,
Don't mess this up.
that's a little bit harder. But
Hello
yeah,
there.
so yeah, I talked about the basic description. This is over here. I talked about the recommended level. We already have the cooldown. Now, if you take a look at the repeatables, you can also find the star rating over here. It's like you have the description, then you get the star rating. Now, this is only for repeatables, and this one should be telling you how difficult the quest actually is. Now, I wouldn't necessarily rely on it because someone might find this quest like to be much more difficult than 1 star, and some others might find it so easy that it could be just half star, but that does not exist here. But yeah, that is star rating, and that has been added in Project Celeste. Okay, so if you have never seen this before, that's pretty much what this is. It's telling the difficulty rating, although I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficulty rating, but rather it the star rating will tell you what kind of rewards you're getting from the quest. And obviously the more stars the quest has, the better rewards. And this is gonna be more notable with the more difficult quests. I'll talk about those later, but yeah, if you see here 1 star repeatable, then there's gonna be 2 stars, 3 stars for repeatables. Then there are elite quests which also have only up to 3 stars, and then there are legendary quests which have up to 5 stars. And also I cannot forget about the champion mode quests which also go up to 5 stars, just like the legendary quests. And the higher the star rating, the better the rewards there will be. So that's the star rating. Then yeah, recommended level cooldown. Now here it's not showing, but there can
Time
be
is short.
also,
Glory to Argus.
can be here, yes. That will tell you whether the quest, you can play the quest in co-op. Now there can be 2 ways to tell you that. Either this is co-op allowed, which means hey, you can play this quest on your own, or you can find a co-op partner to play with. So if you get someone to play with, hey, you just do this, you invite him into the group, you accept the
Good luck.
quest, well, let's do that, go to the map, then you turn on this button, hey, it will start waiting for someone.
Halt. Who
So
goes there?
that's that. That's how the co-op works here. Now that's co-op allowed, there's also co-op only, which means hey, you can play this quest only with a co-op partner. There are still few quests available that are co-op only. You might know if you've been here around for a while now that quest, mainly legendary quest from Lodi, had like four of them were co-op only, so you couldn't play like Oikos, you couldn't play the Nikaya, you couldn't play Agitna, you couldn't play those on your own. You were supposed to play them in co-op. Now they are co-op allowed these days. That has been changed. But bear in mind that those were designed for co-op mainly, so those might not be the most easiest quests as well. But yeah, back to the quest here. After the co-op, hey, obviously we have the objectives, which is over here. For example, refugees arrived 0 out of 30. So you can have something like this where you have to like do something and then you have some kind of progression. So refugees arrived, so some refugees have to go somewhere, and then there's like you have to reach 30. Obviously this is 0, we're not in the quest, so yeah, you have to like get 30 refugees somewhere. That's pretty much it. Now that can be something like enemies defeated, incomplete. I don't know if I don't would wanna look for that kind of quest right now. I'm not really gonna, but yeah, if you take a look at those, it's gonna be something like enemies defeated, incomplete. Once you're in the quest, you finish it, it will turn into complete. Stuff like that, yeah. So these are pretty much the main objectives here. And then we're getting to the main rewards. So yeah, you'll see this rewards, and here you'll see the number of empire points, coins, and the number of chests you will get, and obviously there are levels as well. Now quests also can have one more
Good luck.
thing for the
Glory to
rewards,
Argus.
which is like, hey, you have this choose one off, and when you see this, once you complete the quest and you'll be here like, hey, I have completed the quest, I want to get my rewards, you will have to choose one of these. So you click on this, one of these two, and you will get one of those two. So if I wanted to complete it, I select the cow from Argos, I'll get the cow from Argos, but I will not get the chest. And then you also have this here, you will also receive, which means, hey, with the cow I'll get 200 coins. So that's choose one off. And then obviously if we have repeatables,
Hey, you!
and not non-repeatables, but okay, this
Get
one
on
does
with it
not
then.
have that, but there are also secondary objectives, and that can depend on how many secondary objectives we have. Let's say over here we have a repeatable, so we have the main rewards for the main objective, so you always get those. Okay, disable this, and then down here you can find secondary objectives, and that's pretty much just repeating it again. So just like you had the main objectives here, you will have the secondary objectives. Here's the secondary objective, and below it, what do you get for completing the secondary objective. And yeah, you have this multiple times for some reason, so it's like secondary objectives, blah blah blah. Secondary objectives, I mean, this can be like multiple things for this one-time rewards. So for example, here it says train on Palinton, stone throwers or log throwers. In some quests you can find something like train on Palintons and throwers, and then also there can be another one that says train on converting priests, and that can be part of the same objective, same secondary objective. So if you train priests, hey, you fail it. If you train Palinton, hey, you fail it. But if you don't train either of those, you get the rewards. That's how it works. So that's the secondary objectives. And yeah, that's pretty much the same. Just like, hey, it's gonna be empire points, coins, number of chests, secondary objectives. I don't think there's any that would offer empire points. So you will most likely just see coins and chests. So those are the main rewards from secondary objectives, which is really nice. But then there are also quests that can offer you something else. For example, if you play Sparta and you do the Sparta quest, you'll be able to get additional points called the Sparta points, which you can use for the Sparta store. Or you can play Crete. Hey, you'll be getting the Crete points. You will be playing, I don't know, like winter event, you'll be getting the winter event points. Those you can actually get from secondary objectives as well. Although not really winter, but like Halloween event points, those you can get from secondary one. So that's that. And also, I would completely forget about this, but yeah, there are also quests that can be timed, which means, hey, you have to finish this quest within a certain number of time. And as you can see, it's below the objectives, the main objectives, you'll find the timer. So you have the hourglass and the timer, which says, hey, you have to finish this quest in 45 minutes right here. Now, quests can also have secondary objectives that are so-called time challenges, and you will not really recognize it from the objectives on your own unless there is like, I don't know, something like destroy fortress in time, and that's gonna be it. You will not see time for those, unfortunately, because I don't know, some kind of reason. Okay, so if you want to see how much time do you actually have for those time challenges, you need to get into the quest. And yeah, and I think I said it, but just to be clear, hey, secondary objectives, time challenges, or just normal secondary objectives, they are available only for repeatable quests. Okay, don't expect those for non-repeatable quests. Okay, so those were the rewards, those were the quest descriptions. I hope that is clear. I hope I didn't forget anything. And if I did, someone who knows that I forgot something, please tell in the comments. Just so we don't forget at all. So anyone watching this, hey, knows this is over here. So yeah, I was talking about the non-repeatables, repeatables, we don't got the rewards. Now let's talk about global and non-global quests. And this is gonna be quite simple. So I was talking about the non-repeatables, and usually when you take a quest, hey, I accept, you will have a quest, and here you will have the begin quest. This will load you into the map. Here you will play the quest. Now, there are also quests that are global quests, and for these, this is slightly different. And this quest, the Celebrate Columbia, is exactly a global quest. Now, for these quests, as you can see, I've selected it. I don't have it complete, yet I cannot begin the quest. Now, the difference is between a normal quest and the global quest, that the global quest can be completed during a normal quest. Now what does it mean? Hey, I already got this quest. It says bring Argus cows to town center, 0 out of 1. Now this is a global quest. That means if I play, let's say it burns us, and I'll find this Argus cow and bring it to the town center during this quest, it will actually complete this quest at the same time. So it's like having additional objective during the quest. When you think about it, it's just like that's pretty much how it works. Now it does not necessarily have to be like that you need to complete it only during these quests. These global quests can have something like, hey, you need to complete these objectives, hey, you need to kill these enemies, hey, you need to gather materials into your inventory. For example, I need to gather this fine leather, for example, like 500 pieces. There are many of these global quests, yes. Check them out, definitely they're worth mentioning. Now, how do you recognize these global quests? Well, remember the icon? That's pretty much the only way to recognize them. Otherwise, there's no other way for you to tell, other than, hey, go into the map, see you cannot start a quest. So yeah, if you take a look at the icon, and this one might be a little bit worse to look at, so I'll find you a global quest right here from Cyprus for the skirmish. You can see this looks like a globe, like a world. The icon looks like a world. That's pretty much it. Now why this one looks a little bit different? Why is there the blue arrow? That's because, hey, even the global quest can be repeatable as well. So yeah, if you see a globe and there's a blue arrow over it, this global quest is actually repeatable. And the Argos cows is one good example over here, which means hey, I can do this multiple times, get multiple cows from Argos from this quest, and then I can place them in my hometown. And yeah, that's it. You can find quests like hey, kill wolves. That means I load into any quest, and if there are wolves, I can kill them. I'll get the progress for the global quest. That's the whole thing about global quests that you need to know. They are just hey, play a normal quest, and sometimes you might be able to complete this global quest, get additional rewards. It's like a passive income for you. Well, not really passive, but it's like another way to get additional rewards. And that's the whole point. And yeah, now there are also global quests that might be specific for a region, like hey, you might want to kill wolves, but you can kill wolves pretty much anywhere where the wolves are. Now, most likely you won't find wolves in the Rakotis quest, for example, but you will find them quite often in the Greek quests. So, for example, in the Athens, Greek home city, and so on, so on. Maybe even Celtic quests. But then you have also global quests specifically for this kind of region. For example, here this hunting global quest, which requires to kill Persian generals. Now, Persian generals, those could be any Persian generals, right? I mean, I could play the quest in the Athens, I could play, I don't know, what's like, I could play in Zabul, and there are the Persian generals as well. But in this case, it should be specifically for the Athens. I don't think this works in Zabul at all. At least it shouldn't be working in Zabul. But yeah, this quest specifically for the Athens, so I can kill the generals only in the Athens quest. Remember that there are global quests specifically for this region. How do you recognize them? Well, you get them at that region. That's pretty much it. Okay, and I think that's all about the global quest. Remember, hey, you got this quest active, play any normal quest, and you might be able to complete the global quest if you take a look at the objective, something like kill wolves, and there are wolves around the map. If you kill them, hey, additional rewards. That's how the global quest is, and I don't think there's anything else about it. But yeah, again, if I forgot something, hey, comment section below, please mention it. But I think that's all for that. Now, like I said, we have non-repeatables and repeatables. I've mentioned the global and non-global quests. Now let's talk about the elite quests and legendary quests. And this is pretty much like some kind of category that belongs beneath the repeatable quests in general.
Let's
Now,
make it
as you
happen.
could see here with the star rating, and I was talking about the star rating, I've mentioned the elite quest and legendary quest, and also champion one quest, kind of hit those. But yeah, basically the repeatable quest, the non-global ones, are categorized by their difficulty. You either have a normal repeatable quest, like this one, and you can just recognize it by over here, hey, repeatable, in the quest description where the star difficulty is. It says just repeatable.
Don't mess
That's
this
one
up.
way to recognize them. But yeah, let's say what actually are these elite and legendary quests. First off, elite quests. Now we have the repeatable one. You can play the repeatable one the way you like. Now a lot of the repeatable quests,
Hey, you!
and
Get on
we
with
can
it then.
get this one from here. A lot of you can, if you go to the world map, select the repeatable quest. If you go down here where the begin button is and take a look about the call button, you can see the elite button. And this one is not necessarily active for all repeatables, but for a lot of them you will find this active. This button will actually switch the quest into the elite mode. So for example here for this quest trade for mosaic tile, this is not active because this quest cannot be played in elite mode or elite difficulty as you like. But if I select this quest, for example, War Leaders Down, you can see the quest has become active, and I don't think there is anywhere in the quest description. Nope, as you can see it's not mentioned here. So to recognize whether the quest can be played in elite or not is by going to the world map, select the quest, and check the button can be toggled. Now yeah, if we click on it, and you can see a lot has changed. For example, the name of the quest has suddenly the elite in front of it. That's the first thing. Second thing, star rating has changed. You can see this is now 1-star elite quest from 1-star repeatable. Also notice that the color of any has changed. Like I said before, the quest chest rewards will now have the higher level. So instead of your level -3, now you have the chest level equal to your level, as you can see. Now obviously this is elite quest, and most likely what you can expect, hey, this quest is gonna become much more difficult, right? And that's pretty much what this does. It will actually increase the difficulty, but you will be offered much better rewards. And you could see it here that suddenly, if we turn it off, we get the number of coins, empire points, and the chests. You turn it on, more coins, empire points. Well, in this case it's not any difference, but you might find quests where this actually changes. But what's very important is that the elite quests offer guaranteed epic chests, and the last secondary objective usually, but in this case it's the main objective, will offer you also a legendary chest, and then also some additional chests. This depends again on the star rating, like I said before. So yeah, the harder the elite quest, or rather the higher star rating, the better rewards. Okay, so the rewards are better, but how is this much more difficult? Does it mean like, hey, the enemy is spamming more or what? And yeah, that's not exactly how it works here. Basically, if you play the repeatable quest, it's a normal quest. Okay, you play against enemy AI, hey, it has some units, okay. But what you can see once in a while, there are these larger red blinking units, and if you select them, they are called elite. Now what this does is that the unit suddenly has 2.2 times more health and damage, and that's it. And it's not really visible anywhere, but I believe that those units also have increased conversion resistance. And from my testing, it seems like yes, they actually have increased conversion resistance, which is somewhat annoying, and I hate it that it's nowhere visible. At least that's what it feels like, and after the testing it has to be true, like otherwise I feel like they take too long to convert. But yeah, that's the main difference. So that means, hey, they are much stronger units. So what happens when you turn this elite mode on? Hey, is there gonna be more of those elite units? Oh yes, you bet there's gonna be more of them. All of the enemy units will suddenly turn into these elites. That's pretty much the whole thing. The enemy units will suddenly have more health, more damage, and it will be harder to convert. That's the whole difference in the elite mode. That's the elite quests. Okay, and then we have the legendary quests. Now, what can be so different about the legendary and the elite quest? Well, again, legendary quests are repeatables. The main thing about them though is you need to be level 40 to actually be eligible to play these quests. You need to reach level 40. That's the main thing. So if you want to play this quest, for example, you need to be level 40. Now that's the first thing. Second thing, they're just like elites. The enemy units have more health, more damage. All of the units are elites. That's the main thing. Again. And another thing is, the enemy always has better gear. What what kind of gear? Well, let's say level 38 epic gear. I think it's level 38 at least. But yeah, what you can expect is high level epic gear with increased health, increased damage, and conversion resistance. And the enemy actually can be quite aggressive. So yeah, if you were playing, let's say, Zabul quests, you were playing them on Elite, then the legendary ones will be even worse. Although in Zabul, I don't think it's gonna be that huge difference except of the enemy units being some a little bit better thanks to the gear. Let's say if you play Lodi, that can be quite notable difference. And that's the whole thing, I think. But one thing worth mentioning, in a lot of these quests you can actually find enemy units with additional multipliers. How do you recognize them? Hey, select the enemy military unit, check its stats, and if there is like multiplier, and usually something that this unit does not counter, like let's say I select spearman, usually spearman does not counter infantry. So if it has some multiplier against infantry and it's not from the gear, that means it has some passive bonus. These are quite typical for legendary quests, namely the older ones. So let's say you play Cyprus legendary quests, you will see those multipliers there. So yeah, those are also that's also possible, how to see the legendary quests, how to increase their difficulty, and it can be quite annoying. But most of the recent quests, the most recent legendary quests don't have the multipliers. So for example, in the Rome, in Zabol, you won't find these multipliers. So if you're looking for something a little bit easier, hey, check those quests. Although Rome is gonna be quite aggressive, so careful there. But yeah, Zabol, the Athens from Socrates quest pack, those quests, if you check out those are somewhat easier than some of the older ones. Yeah, but it's not specifically necessarily specific for the legendary quests. There are few elite quests I could find that also have like these kinds of bonuses. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, the legendary quests very difficult. The enemy is very aggressive. Enemy units have the epic gear level 38. Elite units all the way. Doesn't matter which legendary quests you select. Always elite units. So what's the difference between elite and legendary? Well, much better rewards. The star rating can go up to 5 stars, so those are gonna be quite huge differences. And obviously, the loot is gonna be much better because these are legendary chests. So definitely much better loot for these quests. For much higher difficulty though. So yeah, if you wanna rise up, I highly recommend start with something easier, get into the game, play the repeatable, then maybe turn on the elite quest, and then try some easier legendary quests. Alright, I think that's the main things about this. Let's go into something more advanced. Let's start with, let me select this, for example, Kartak. There are quests that are called alliance quests, and these quests you can find in 3 cities. Kartak is one of those. The other two are Delos and Farafra Oasis. If you go here,
All right.
here you
Here's
can
the plan.
find the main guy behind this alliance,
No
or
challenge is
rather the
too
city
great.
now. These three quests were actually part of the Alliance Force back in the day. Now it's just three regions with the same
How
quest.
goes the battle?
You can pick whichever one and you play those quests. But yeah, let's use this one. And the quests that are available at this
Hit them
main
in the
guy, there's also
flanks.
this guy, the War Effort
We
Collector.
seek your vow.
A little bit about him later. But yeah, these are called the Alliance quests, and you can find it here in the quest description as well. And the main difference about these quests from your typical repeatables are that the last secondary objective will give you legendary chests. As you can see over here, this one will give you some legendary chests. If we select this, scroll down all the way, again legendary chests. Go over here, scroll down, legendary chests.
If I
So
had
yeah,
but a dozen more of
if
them.
you've played some easier elite quests, you've beaten those but can't beat those harder, try playing the Alliance quest. Most of them are quite fast. They can be challenging, but it's not like, hey, you need to play that well. Some of them are testing rather your
Let's comb
skill
the
in some
distance.
specific area. For example, Persian coercion, hey, you build up army, conquer villages, that's it. Then we have like Relentless Canyon, which is you have to defend villages, and if you can defend them all or 7 of those, you get additional
Legion is
rewards.
behind you.
These can be quite challenging for someone new, but yeah, once you get used to them, they can be fun as well. But if you're looking for some tougher repeatables, Alliance quests are here. Now, why are they called Alliance? Like I said, there used to be Alliance Wars, and you would be able to join one of these Alliance cities. For example, I could join Kartak,
We seek your
and then
vow.
I would be able to play these quests only for this city.
Nothing a
This
few
is
elephants
not
can't
available
solve.
anymore. You can play for all of those. There were like a few things about this, like hey, you have access only to these items at this store, so you cannot buy items from the Delian store. And yeah, so you were able to play and visit this region. Well, you could visit the others, you could join those, you would have some kind of rank, and the more alliance points you would earn, which you would earn by playing the alliance quest and some repeatables from higher level regions like the Argus, Babylon, Northern Hold, Cyprus, playing legendary quests as well. You'll be earning alliance points. The more you would earn, it would turn at the end of the day into empire points. Plus, you will be able to get your rank. So, yeah, with the alliance came some bonuses, and the higher your rank, the stronger bonus. That's what it used to be. And then there was this guy, the War Effort
Hey,
Collector, which was used to trade the materials, like for example here olive oil. I would take this quest, and instead of the empire points I would be getting alliance points. So every day you would be able to like pick this quest and trade materials for the
let's get
alliance
it
points.
done.
That's pretty much it. It's worth mentioning this
Greetings.
because this is a good example of the quest where you need to have materials in your inventory.
Careful out there.
Again, these are global quests,
Let's get
okay?
it
So
done.
doesn't matter where you are, you're not completing those in a specific quest. Okay, so that was that. Now, is there anything else? I guess one warning about these quests.
Hey,
It's not gonna be necessarily over here, but when you play a specific quest where you have to get some kind of material, for example,
careful
and
out
we're gonna
there.
go to Babylon for that. Although I don't have it on the Civ. thingy. But yeah, if you go to Babylon and you play through Farzana's quest, you will find the Ambrosia Project global quest, and it follows like few mini quests. I think there's like 7 mini quests in total. In those quests, you have to gather materials. Now, you don't necessarily gather the materials directly, but you take like this special camp and you will get a chest. Now, beware of the quest objectives there, because you need to open the chest to actually get the materials and to be able to complete a quest. If you suddenly return to Babylon and you realize, oh wow, I didn't complete a quest, how come? Oh, I don't have the materials because I didn't open the chest. So beware of that. But yeah, other than that, I think I can move on to the final part, which is the quest map over here. Now, yeah, we have all of these quests. If you take a look at the global selected, it will show you the world map. But if we select some specific quest, for example this one, it will show you where the quest is actually happening in some specific region. For example, here it's Egypt. It's not like specific city, but it's happening in the city. Now, obviously, we can find a quest over here. For example, hey, I have a quest in my home city. I select it and I can start it. That's one way to find a quest. Now, the other way to start a quest, and you can see it, I can click on the icons over here for the quests as well. So if I wanna go over here, I wanna select this quest, like what is this? And it's this one. I can start it from here. I can also double click it, start it immediately. With this, there was a nice bug which allowed you to play co-op only quests as well. Good times. Unfortunately, you cannot do that anymore. But yeah, that's the world map. Now obviously, if we select a quest, here we have the quest description, just like at the quest giver. You just scroll down, hey, it's the same thing. Then we have the buttons, begin quest, obviously we're going into the quest. If it's global, cannot turn it on. We can switch to the elite. We can turn on the co-op if we have a co-op partner. That's the main thing. Now I wanna show you these nice buttons over here. Now, yeah, there's also this nice thing if you wanna learn about the chest, what do they contain, item sets. Is it still active? I think it should be updated actually, because this was changed. If I'm not mistaken. I'll take a look at that, but yeah, there should be some kind of details. I'll take a look at those. But yeah, this is not very important. It's about the rewards, not the quest necessarily. What's very important is this button, the skip the quest. Now, yeah, as you can see, I'm hovering over it. There's some more detail. So basically, you can skip non-repeatable, non-global quests. So for example, if I select this, you can see, hey, I can use the skip over here. If I click it, it will show you this pop-up, and it will show you some price in empire points. Now this is the price you will pay for skipping the quest. So pretty much you pay it, you click yes, you pay it. I'm not really gonna pay it. I could, but I don't wanna. But yeah, you pay the empire points, the quest will become automatically complete. And you just complete it and move on with the quest pack. That's pretty much the whole point. Now, first of all, you need to be level 40, as it says. You need to be level 40 on this save to be able to skip quests. If you have like, let's say, level 40 Greeks but level 40 Egyptians, and you try to skip the quest as Egyptians, you cannot do that because you're not level 40 with Egyptians. That's how it works. Another thing, like I said, non-repeatable, non-global quests. If we look at this one, this repeatable, you can see it's disabled. If we select global quest, it's disabled. If I select this legendary quest, it's disabled. As you can see, I cannot do that. See, global quest, no. If we go to this global, No, doesn't work. Okay, I think that's all. There's nothing else about this game. I don't think. Yeah, it's pretty much. If you hover over the button, you can see it's telling everything. Now let's go to the abandon button, and that's gonna be the end of the video pretty much. If you want to abandon quest, you don't have to necessarily do it from the world map, but if you accept the
No
quest
mountain
over
eyes
here,
smell
you
victory.
can see current quest. If you select it, just to read the description again, you can see that instead of accept, you have the abandon button over here. If I click back, it will go back. But here, I can actually abandon the quest. What will this do? It will
I
just end
have
the
a bit
quest,
of
okay?
crack strategy.
Remove from the active quest. And you can see it's back here.
Obstacles are there to overcome.
Now obviously I can do the same thing from the world map over here. And it's pretty much the same thing. Are you sure you want to abandon? Yes. And as you can see, the Argos, it disappeared. Abandon. Okay, don't know why it's moving there, but it's moving there. And as you can see, if I travel back to Argos, the quest will be available here.
Glory to Argus. Good
That's
luck.
important, and I can take them again.
Let's make it happen. Time is short.
Okay, that's how abandon works. Now, if you complete a quest,
Halt.
obviously if
Who
I
goes
select
there?
this, I can abandon it. But if it's completed,
Good luck.
which you recognize by hey, there is the question mark, but it's colored either blue or yellow, depending whether it's repeatable or
Glory to
not
Argus.
repeatable. Here you will have the complete button. Now you can actually abandon completed quests, and that's
Follow
why
the
I'm
visitor.
talking about the button over here from the world map, and why I like it a little bit more. If you have a completed quest, and I don't know, do I have some completed quest over here? Yes. As you can see, I can abandon the quest. I'm not gonna do it because there is a risk that comes with it, and that is if you abandon a repeatable quest that you have completed, the quest will not, or rather will go on cooldown as if you have completed a quest and taken the rewards. Now it has this advantage because you will not get the rewards. I warn you, seriously, this was changed a while back. If you abandon quests that you have completed, you will not get the rewards and the quest will go on cooldown. So beware of that. Be careful with that, okay? If you complete some legendary quest and you suddenly want to abandon it, think twice about it. You don't want to do that, okay? Because then you're gonna lose rewards. Not worth it, believe me. And it will go on cooldown as if you have completed it. So if it was like 6-day cooldown, hey, see you next week. That's pretty much it. So yeah, careful with the abandon, but it is very useful in some situations. For example, some people had some issues with quests. Like for example, there was this one guy, hey, I had this completed, but I couldn't finish the quest. I was clicking the complete button. Unfortunately for him, there was no other way to get rid of the quest other than abandoning it. So that's one way to do it. What happened with his quest, I don't know. But yeah, that can happen. So that's a useful tool. Maybe another way, another thing that could happen is, hey, the quest got recently changed, but you had it accepted before the change. And if the quest got changed, you might actually see it in the quest objectives, main objectives. Like for example, here it's a 0 out of 30. But if it got changed, it might have something like 0 out of 2 something 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 something. Really huge number. If you see that, that means hey, your quest is bugged. You need to abandon it. Now obviously you don't want to just go here, travel to the city, and then find a quest giver, select the quest, and abandon it. No, you just do it from here. It's much more comfortable. But obviously you will have to find a quest giver and accept it again. That's the thing. But most of the times you see this happening when the quest got changed. Most likely when you try to start it, the game can crash, which has been the most likely occurrence of this. A lot of people were complaining about this. So hey, if you're suddenly crashing after trying to start a quest, maybe the quest got changed. Try abandoning it and then reaccepting it. Helps like I would say over 90% of the times, from my experience, from what I saw, quite useful. Okay, and I think that's all I have to say about the abandon. Very nice tool, but be careful with that. Okay, did I forget something? I hope not.
State your business.
Might have forgotten
The
something,
king will
but
be pleased.
yeah, I think that's all from the quest. Let me abandon from the map. What I don't want to have here. Yeah, if you want to avoid the crashing bug, I suggest not having the quest active all the time. And rather pick them when they are off the cooldown and then just go play them right away. Don't try to make like this whole set of quests available to you all the time. Because one change and then you have to abandon it and reaccept it again. So I pretty much have active only the main quests, like the global ones, the non-repeatable, so I know where I'm missing what. And that's it. If I want to play some repeatable, I'll go and play that repeatable right away. Just go to the city, quest giver, and that's it. Oh yeah, I think one more thing, how the quest becomes complete, or once you accept the quest, you can see that the quest giver will have question mark, not the exclamation mark. If it's grayed out, hey, the quest is not complete, but it is available to you. If it's yellow, hey, you have completed non-repeatable quest. If it's blue, hey, you have completed repeatable quest. That's pretty much it. I think that's the last thing you need to know. I hope I didn't forget. Or maybe that if you go play skirmish or creed, you can check that right away. You don't really have a quest giver, but you are like starting a quest in quotes. When you go here, you can see it's beginning quest because you started skirmish. It's skirmish, but it behaves as a non-quest. But yeah, you can see it has the same marks, and you can see repeatables don't need a cooldown necessarily, but most of the quests will have. This is for something like skirmish. This is for something like creed. These kind of things. I think some materials turning in can have that. I think so. Yeah, most likely during the events you can turn in the materials. I think those have those. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you start this, you will have this as a quest that you need to complete over here.
Good luck.
That's pretty much it. Okay, I hope I didn't forget anything. And obviously, the comment section below is for you to remind me and tell everyone else what I forgot about. I hope not. Maybe one more thing. If you have the quest giver, you go to him, hey, you have these available quests which you have over here, then you have the current quest which is something you already have active, so you have accepted those quests, and then there might be completed quests as well, which you can get the rewards. And that's pretty much it. Okay, hope you enjoyed this, hope you find this useful, and if you do, please press the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Tell me if you find this very useful. I hope for newer players this is gonna be useful so they understand, hey, difference, repeatable, non-repeatable, elite, legendary, global, non-global, and the cool things about the world map or quest map, whatever. Yeah, this was Psychosaurus. I'll see you next time. Bye.